cars are lined up on the grid as they wait for the lights to go out. The revs are building. Let's go racing!
Everybody's doing a brand new dance now.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another wheel-to-wheel stream. Tonight is one of 4 that we are either streaming live or recording, so keep those notifications on and you'll be given some midweek goodies. Tonight we are here at Autodrome Lago Maggiore. It is a Gran Turismo original track, I believe, set in the foothills of Italy. We have 3 race format here tonight, and it is a 7-lapper, 7-lapper, and a 15-lapper, if I remember correctly. We'll get into that in a minute. We'll kick qualifying off in about the same amount of time. Joining me in the comms box tonight is Adam V10. Good evening, Adam.
Hey, Captain. How are you today?
Very good, thank you. Very good. It's been a tough round of racing here in our top split, so I'm expecting much the same here for Split 2, and hopefully we'll see some action.
Yeah, if Split 1 was anything to go by, there'll be a ton of action here tonight, so looking forward to seeing these boys put on a show for us.
Absolutely. We've been calling it Split 1.5 for a while now, even though it is technically Split 2, but these guys are super high quality drivers. We can see quite a few members who should be in top split. Anyway, I'll get into that further in a minute. Also doing our visuals tonight and joining us for some part-time commentary is Herbal Green Tea. Good evening, Herbs.
Hey guys, yeah, good to be here. Looking forward to seeing what happens in this race. It's going to be an interesting one, I think. Yeah, take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. Big thanks to Herbs and the other visuals guys as well. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to bring 4 streams a week to your screens, so big ups to these visuals guys. Anyway, we'll get qualifying kicked off and let's see what these guys can produce. Adam, have you got your eye on anyone? You can see some quick vendors in here. I haven't actually seen many of their laps though.
So DJ Stefko is usually a Split 1 regular, but been pushed down to Split 2 tonight, so he'll be someone to watch. And Squiddy, the wheel-to-wheel CEO, you could call him. He's been practicing quite a bit this week and has put in some decent lap times, so he'll be someone to watch as well.
He absolutely has. I'll be keen to see where he's at. He's always shown his high caliber of driving and has certainly shown his pace in recent times. So, as you said, he's a Div 1 driver. On that note, we'll start off the top. I think the order still is a bit skipped out because G is out in first, but he is showing us 8th. So we'll let things straighten up a little bit, and then we'll do a run through the grid. But yeah, continuing on that note, there is at least 4, if not 5 drivers. Oil and my blood as well is also a driver who should be in Div 1 or has been in Div 1 in the past. Okay, I think the lobby order has sorted itself out. So up in first place is GeForce Gang, leading the way out of the pits. He got out nice and early. Bit of a gap behind him as well. GeForce, again, Div 1 driver, so keep an eye out for him and his qualifying lap times. Followed almost closely is Showman 196 in second place. Showman's, again, super quick driver.
Yeah, behind him we've got Jonesy 175 in the 13R Autosports Ferrari.
Best livery out there.
Yeah, the toothpaste livery, can't go wrong. And the person we mentioned before, DJ Stefko, driving for Serial Killers in the Weet-Bix car.
And followed closely is Untouchables. He's also shown his pace in recent races I've been a part of in practices, so definitely keep an eye out for him. And again, a little bit further behind in the most fantastic delivery of Super Dragon in that light baby blue there.
Yeah, and behind him we've got CCH driving for Scuderia Quadrifoglio. He'll be looking to put in a good show tonight. He's had some decent rounds the last few rounds, so yeah, we'll see. Hopefully see something good out of him. And another 13R Autosports teammate of yours is Oil in My Blood. As we mentioned before, top split driver. He'll be looking to finish at the pointy end tonight for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Big ups to Oil and Jonesy. Do well tonight, boys. Following Oil is Expat Champ in that fantastic Martini livery. I think he's in the same team as Scuderia Quadrifoglio, if I recall correctly. A bit of an inverse colour scheme going on there. It's a nice way to have some different colours in your team while still remaining with the theme. It's very nicely executed. And then not too far behind is another one of the serial killers with Midrisky in the cornflakes reveal.
Yeah, and behind Madrisky we have Squiddy in that lovely V-Corsa Barbie Mobile. Quite recognisable, that car, so good luck Squiddy, who's my teammate. And then from Argentina we have Das Patron driving for Serial Killers in the Nesquik car.
Yeah, Das has certainly produced some fantastic quality racing. He holds himself to a quite high standard and quite high regard, and I do exactly the same. So fingers crossed we see some great results for Das as well. And tailing the group is a flat-out racing crew member with Rip Doc Ed. He's also produced a bit of time. It looks like he's just hanging back a little bit, giving himself some free air. This is exactly what I feel you need to do around this track. There's not too much of a slipstream advantage unless you can time it perfectly. I've never been able to pull that off, so I tend to just try and find myself some free space and go out my own lap time. But jumping back up at the front, G-Man's still in first. He's just rounding the last corners. We should start seeing some lap times flowing in. 2:03.0, not too bad. 2:02.5 and a 2:02.4 was the first three people across the line.
Yeah,
Stefko
Jonesy with the
just behind Jonesy.
provisional pole at the moment. As the rest of the field come across the line.
Seen a heap of mid 2:02s. This is insanely close. I mean, top split was, I think, the top 7 or 8 drivers were all within a tenth of each other. I've never seen that.
That is chaos.
Straight away. Stefko's gone wide at turn 4, I think, or 5. Unfortunately for Stefko, that's going to be his qualifying done as well. So we're going to have to
we
look
got
towards
Squiddy in
Squiddy.
third place, going up the inside of, I believe it was Madrisky. So he's passed him at a good spot, and it looks like he might catch Expat Champ on the back straight here, which will give him a nice tow. So I think Squiddy might be on for a good lap here.
Yeah, I'm going to hang with Squid here. Hopefully he's able to produce something. He doesn't get caught up with the drivers in front. He has improved a little bit in that sector, and it's good to see that he wasn't held up by trying to go down the inside of Midrisky. So fingers crossed he can use that slipstream of Expat Champ in front of him to his advantage. And hell, it's still only 6 100ths between him and pole. He could definitely snatch this here.
Yeah, he just wants to hope he doesn't get held up around these last few corners.
He's definitely closing in. These cars don't suffer too much aero wash, which is nice. It does produce good quality racing as well as being able to follow real close. He's getting on that back
Showman
up.
with a 202 flat.
Showman out of
Beautiful
nowhere
lap.
takes pole position.
Let's
Squid's
see what
all over
Squiddy
the
can
back of
do.
Expat Champ.
Yeah, actually pushing him now.
Don't know if it's going to be enough.
Oh, it's close.
It's so incredibly close to Squiddy. He would have taken pole if Showman didn't come out with that cracker lap of a 2:02.073. That is significantly better than my qualifying time in top split, and yeah, between Showman and Squiddy, those two have certainly set themselves apart with about 3.5 tenths gap to the rest of the field. It's going to be a very interesting start here. Two people within an extremely close amount of time. I don't know who to pick. Jonesy, Stefko, Squid, Showman, they're all going to be right in that running. Oil, even. Oil gets fantastic starts, so fingers crossed he stays on with it. I think we stick up the front of the grid though, Herbs. What do you reckon?
Yeah, we'll jump on.
Yeah,
let's jump
definitely.
on
We'll
third
stay on
place.
with.
Yeah, well, with Jonesy.
I can't personally see lights, and they're off. I think someone just got a jump start at the back, but Showman with a great start. Squiddy following in behind as well. Stefko's jumping Jonesy in the run down to turn 1. They're all hard under the brakes. They're trying to file into one place. Jonesy's taking an inside line. Is able to just hold out Stefko, but they're still going 2 by 2. Jonesy's going to be on a slightly slower exit speed, but he's going to have the inside with Oil pushing him along for good measure. I think he thinks better of it, and he's just going to tuck in behind Stefko and play the long game. Meanwhile, Showman is out to a almost half a second lead on Squiddy there already, so Squiddy's going to just tuck into that slipstream if he wants to hold on in place for a top finish in this race.
Yeah, he's just going to make sure he's with him on the back straight, and then yeah, he can either make that move or push him along to try and break the gap to third.
Yeah, it's been a hard thing to try and get people to understand that you don't always fight for positions, and that sometimes it is just pushing off in front and worrying about the pointy end of the race. Once you get to that pointy end of the race, battling for first place on first lap is not really going to get you anywhere, especially when overall points are averaged across every single lobby. So you're not just racing the guys right in front of you and right behind you, as much as you might see red mist. We'll note that Squiddy has just given Showman a bit of a nudge there just to say, yep, let's work together and break this gap to the rest of the field.
Oh, Jonesy
no.
off into the dirt.
Jonesy's wide at the hairpin on lap 1. That's very unfortunate. I think Oil and Jonesy were trying to work together there. I'm not too sure if something has gone wrong, but I didn't quite catch
Yeah,
that.
Oil did give him a tap to try and close that gap up to the top runners, but I believe maybe he's just carrying a bit too much speed that he's used to, especially on cold tyres on lap 1, so just couldn't pull it up.
That's unfortunate as well. As I was just on with Patron as well.
Oh,
we're seeing
you've
Ripdog
got
go wide.
Yeah, you've got 5 going side by side in 9th, 10th, 11th.
That is incredible. These guys are keeping it super clean here. They're shuffled back into 2 wide, but they're 3 or 4 deep. Jonesy's gotten his nose right back in the mix. He's not going to be wanting to hang around. He's got still 2 wide between Ripdog and 10th and Midriski in 11th. Is Midriski going to be able to outbreak him and shove him? No, he's not.
Jonesy comes around the outside of Midriski.
He's then going to have the inside through here. Ooh, that's a tight line for Jonesy. Hopefully he doesn't pick up a penalty. These two are still 2 wide at the back of the grid here. Fighting for sheep station. That's fantastic to see. No one giving a centimetre between them. Everyone slotting in on everyone else's rear bumper or front bumper. This precision is exactly what we expect from Split 1.5. It's fantastic to see. Oh, Midriski's going to show the nose for position 10 on Ripdog. Gets it done. Actually through a very difficult section of the course. That was very clean overtake done by
Jonesy's got the run on Ripdog as well, going up the hill. If you run a little bit wide on that last corner, you can really compromise your exit speed.
Yeah, it's very surprising with this track, but momentum plays such a big part. So if you are slightly off on one corner, it can destroy your pace for the next, basically, sector, really, until you get a decent straight.
And we've got Squiddy pulling out on Showman for first place. He's going to go up the inside. Showman looking to do the cut back.
Oh,
Squiddy touches the sand.
Oof, that's close. It's given Showman the run back in through these sweepers here. Stefko's just having to sit back and watch this all unfold. Unfortunately, he's a little bit helpless here. Squiddy's got to be careful he doesn't get overtaken by Stefko. It's a very dangerous section of the course. They've all slotted back into their original positions and gone back to single file.
Yeah, the top 3 really broken away from the rest of the pack with, oh my blood, 2.5 seconds behind this crew.
Yeah, Oil looks to be harassed a little bit by Das Patron there as well. He's got him right on his bumper. There's barely a hair between them. Those two taking a very nice line through the last turn. Oil and Das in 4th and 5th. G-Force is getting harassed by Midriski for position 9 now as well. These guys are nose to tail 3 in a row. Jonesy's also getting in the mix. Plenty of different lines that you can take through turn 1 and 2 as well. As you can see, these guys are potentially a car or a car and a half widths wider than the car in front or behind him. Realistically, you come out at the same pace. It can be very difficult to drive around people.
Yeah, you're not wrong there, Cap. It's those few corners are such slow corners, and when you come out at the same speed, it can really put you side by side with the other drivers around you. And you've got Untouchables going up the inside of Dragon, who lets him through. Dragon might be looking to pass him on the back straight here.
Yeah, Dragon might just be playing the long game here. Untouchables is definitely one of the drivers that doesn't want to hang around. If he can take that position, he certainly will. He's got that racing spirit in him. It's alive and strong. I don't think Super Dragon's going to have enough of a slipstream here. He's a little bit too close. I think he's gone for the bump down the back straight, saying, let's break away and fight a bit later.
Yeah, Dragon really has a really good high racing IQ, so...
Sorry to cut you off there, Adam.
Yeah.
Corbin ran a little bit wide on the exit of the hairpin, which got him a little bit unstable, and G-Force has been able to duck up the inside for 8th. Oil and Dust Patron still going at it for 4th place. And the leading trio have broken out by nearly 3.5 seconds. It's actually opening up by about a second a lap, so again, pointing out these three should be in top split. They're certainly showing their worth tonight.
Yeah, top 3 only separated by a few tenths. It's a cat and mouse game here. We're going to see what happens towards the end.
Yeah, we're only just over halfway through this race as well. Looking at their tyres and their fuel, it's inseparable. You could place either or any 3 drivers into each other's cars and they perform exactly the same. So again, certainly showing their worth with their consistency over the 4 laps that we've had here, and their fuel usage, their lines, their timing, they're inseparable. I'm seeing plenty of people in 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th going quite wide there. I'll be surprised if we don't see penalties. I think I picked one up there, unfortunately, in my races.
Yeah, you look like everyone's sort of gapped pretty sort of evenly, although, as I say, that Dragon gets a run on Untouchables down in 6th place. They're going side by side through this left-hander.
Oh, G's showing his nose here as well, so G's going to probably get around Untouchables. He takes a nice tight line through that left-hander into the run down the back straight. He's going to have the slipstream assistance of Dragon, so it shouldn't come under fire from Untouchables. G-Man does have a good run at things for 6th place. He might be able to make a dive on Dragon here. He's showing half a nose. No, he's tucking back in. Playing
Untouchables dives down the inside. G pushes him wide.
Wide. Oh, that's unfortunate. Untouchables with a bit of a braking manoeuvre trying to get the move done, and unfortunately sends G-Man right off into the sand trap. That's super unfortunate there for G. He's now dropped right back to the back of the grid, giving my teammate Jonesy some welcome company. It's alright, boys. There's 3 races here. Reset for race 2. You're going to start on the front of the grid. You will work
That's
your way
it.
back
G's
up.
just got to clear his head and think about race 2 now. Just finish strong in this one, and yeah, he'll be starting towards the front end of race 2.
Absolutely. So the beauty of our system here at the moment is with our 3-race format. It's not just one race. If you get spoiled, then you're done. You've got 2 other opportunities, and they're being reverse grids. Fantastic way to get back up at the top. Speaking of top, jumping back up front for 1st place, Showman, Squiddy and Stefko still inseparable, all over their rear bars. It seems like Squiddy's, he's been able to manage that gap at about 4 tenths at the moment. Stefko's being all over the back of Squid, but being the trailing car in the slipstream battle, Stefko's really got a hard job to be able to get past Squiddy here.
Yeah, they're being patient, these boys. Not making any harsh moves at the moment. So yeah, it will be interesting to see when or if they can, start battling.
Yeah, there's not much left in the race, really, is there? Only a couple of laps, and realistically, that only gives you a couple of opportunities here for them to try and make an overtake. So Showman sticking out that lead, Squiddy pulling it in on the back straight and Stefko trailing as well. And yeah, really, there's not much in it. Jumping back a position there, Oil just coming through the hairpin has been able to just break the slipstream of Tron, hanging at about a second gap between those two at the moment. Dragon has also been able to clear, Dragon is in 6th place, he's been able to clear Midrisky by about 1.3 seconds, who is now coming under fire by Untouchables, followed closely by Corbin as well. So these three guys are certainly showing their talent here, nose to tail through a very difficult double right-hander of the course.
Yeah, just back up the front. With these three being so close on pace, if you were in their car captain, if you were a Squiddy or DJ, what would you do? Would you wait until the last lap to try and overtake on that back straight, so they've got no chance of trying to overtake you on the next lap, or do you try and get past them now?
If I was either Squiddy or Stefko, Squiddy is in a quite a decent spot here because Showman doesn't have that slipstream. I'll be hoping that a small mistake is made to be able to then get that jump. But then you would also come under fire again pretty quickly. If you're Stefko, it's really just a matter of holding on for dear life. Stefko's also got to be in that position to wait for a small mistake and just be ready to pounce, be ready to position his car exactly where he needs to and just jump when the iron, strike when the iron's hot. It's a really difficult spot being there, the last car in the slipstream battle. So there's so many different scenarios here. I think Squiddy's in a decent spot, but it seems that Showman just has the jump coming onto every straight. Having said that, Squid's quite close to the back of Showman here, so being lap 6, we might see a bit of a dive. I wonder if Showman's going to go defensive here. No, he's sticking to the left.
Yeah, down to a 10th.
Got enough.
Nah.
Seems Squid's gone for a slight bump again, saying, hey, I'm happy for second place here. Let's think about the larger game. We might be able to pip some of these top split boys for total race time.
Yeah, we still got one more lap to go after this one, so I think I think Squiddy's going to try that same move. Get him on the slip there on the back straight, and then pull out and try to overtake him there. Squiddy knows if he does overtake him on this lap, Showman will just stick in his slip on that back straight, and then he'll come under fire. So.
Yep, you're absolutely right. He's playing a long game, playing it smart. He obviously takes after a team owner, being yourself, Adam, to play that long game, just strike at the perfect opportune moment. Stefko's just dropped off the back of Squiddy there as well. His rear tyre's just a touch more worn than the leading two. Not sure if that's creating a little bit more of a slide for him. Oh, Squiddy almost looks like he went dead. No, he's pulled it up perfectly into turn 1 and also into turn 2. He's looking to hang right close with Showman there. That gap opening up to about half a second, which personally I think is pretty much perfect. Gives you a nice slingshot over the car in front. If you're too close, you do still get slipstream, but you don't get that overspeed which you do need to be able to get past someone. So it's definitely bringing an interesting dynamic though, because Squiddy's got to look forward and look behind him. Making sure the Stefko doesn't dive.
Yeah, Squiddy really needs a good X out of this corner because he just lost a bit of time to Showman. If he really wants to pull that move off down the back straight, he's got to close the gap.
Yeah, especially through these sweepers here. He has pulled in a couple of tenths on that exit of that first hairpin of the track here. He's back within 0.5 of a second, or just over 0.5 of a second. May not be enough here.
Oh, he's going to come under fire by DJ. DJ's very close and he's right in the slip here. Yeah, Squiddy goes defensive.
Yeah, Squiddy's going defensive already, which is a brave move because that pulls Squiddy out of that slipstream here. They're too wide, braking very late. Stefko's going nice and high, giving plenty of racing room, but unfortunately that high line is just not as quick as the lower side there. Squiddy slotting back into second place, has now lost that slipstream to Showman. So Showman's definitely rubbing his hands together going, thanks for fighting boys and letting me run away with this. Well, run away, he's 8 tenths up the road, but Stefko and Squiddy still inseparable by a rear bar. May you see a late change on the podium here. Squiddy just needs to be able to keep himself composed and not make any mistakes with his last left-hander. Stefko is all over the back of him around the last corner. Squiddy taking that perfect apex there, running out wide. I think he's got this one sorted. So Showman takes the win. Squiddy was second place, followed very, very closely by Stefko. Those three miles above the rest of the field here. Looking like Patron has just pipped Oil for fourth place as well.
Yeah, he's run through the field. Jonesy slides across the line. I'm a bit unhappy with him himself, that mistake that he made towards the start of the race. Just put him at the back.
And something has happened here with Untouchables as well, by the looks of it. He was a decent bit behind G-Force, so following that action at the top of the field, we have seemingly lost a bit of action down the back. So might need to have a debrief post-race with these drivers and figure out what happened to Untouchables there. So race 1, all set and done. I'm going to save my replays. Talking out loud so I don't forget about it.
Yeah, congratulations, Sherman. Pole position and the race win in race 1. Great drive.
Yeah, fantastic drive there from Showman. He controlled the race right from the start. Was constantly under fire by Squiddy. Maybe not pulling out moves, but he was definitely there, showing his nose, showing that, hey, I can make this jump whenever I would like. But they seemingly have played the long game and realised that a battle in Split 2 for first position is going to be points lost overall. So looking at their race times, total race times, it is very, very close up top. So wouldn't be surprised if they do score some very good points this race.
All right, Herbs, are you right to go to a commercial break?
Yep. Yep, let's do it.
Brisbane Insurance Brokers has been recognised as the best in commercial and industrial insurance. They can help with all manner of general insurance needs, including your personal insurance for your home and car. Contact them through their website, brisbaneinsurancebrokers.com.au, for all your insurance needs.
Fantastic effort from all of our sponsors here. We have actually got quite a few, so I believe we just saw Brisbane Insurance Brokers add there for insurance. We also have Next Level Racing. They are providers, they are manufacturers of leading simulation gear for both racing and flying. Races World, they are a grassroots group dedicated to support for motorsport event and operators. We have Future Studios as well. I believe they were Future Youth, and they've gone under a name change, being Future Studios. They provide streetwear, and they are based in Melbourne, Victoria. Jade Finance Australia, they're another one of our sponsors, and rounding out as well is Pagnian Advanced Simulation. They are local to Sydney at least, suppliers of sim racing gear of all sorts of brands and quality levels. So again, without those sponsors, we wouldn't be able to bring you as many streams as we do and provide the league quality that we are here at the moment. So I'll look to get race 2 kicked off. I'm going to get G-Man just ticked in here. And we will be good. So reverse grid, Adam, have you got your eye on anyone? We were talking about the Div 1 drivers being top of the field again. Do you think they'll have a tough time trying to get through this group here?
In my race, I did find it quite hard to get through the pack. I'm going to keep my eye on G. He's starting in 3rd position, and after the disappointment of race 1, I think he'll be looking for a good race 2, and he's definitely got the pace to do it. So,
yep, certainly agree. We'll get race 2 kicked off just this second. We'll see what these bad boys can produce for us. Actually, ooh, I might have made a boo-boo here. I'm not sure if I've set this to reverse grid. That's going to stuff things up for us.
we'll see in a minute.
We'll see if I've stuffed things up. No, it looks like G-Man's right up front between him and Untouchables.
So starting in second, yeah. No.
No.
Squiddy's
no.
in fourth, yeah. We'll need
Okay,
to
that up.
reset.
Yep, red flag it, and I will fix this right up. Apologies to both drivers and viewers. I should have had this all sorted, and I have not. We'll get everybody ticked out. You see them all disappear off the starting grid there. And I can make sure these settings are correct for our race 2. There we go, reverse grid. Beautiful. Alright, reverse grid based on previous race. This should produce Untouchables first, Ripdoc, and then G-Man rounding out the top 3. Let's get this underway.
Just waiting for Untouchables to kick in.
Looks like everybody is in now. Yep, we have
Yep.
13 entered. Let's go. Alright, so again, yeah, race 2. It is going to be difficult for the effective top split drivers here to work their way through the field. Hopefully things are kept clean and they can pick and choose their times to overtake and produce some fantastic results here. So everyone is now lined up on the grid, getting ready to kickstart race 2. I can't see lights again, but I think we'll stick up the front of this group, top 3. Maybe stick on with G-Man. We know he's got plenty of pace. Hopefully he's not seeing too much red mist and he can keep his nose down, keep it clean, and push through for the first couple corners of the race. Everyone's revs are right high.
Here come the lights. 3, 4, 5 lights. Revs go up. And we're away. Green light.
Green light, everyone's a go. Looks like G's getting a decent start. It looks like he's been able to jump Ripdoc for the start. They're both being teammates. I'm sure Ripdoc's going, hey G, you're quicker, jump in front and take it away. Expat Champ slotting in, trying to take Ripdoc for third there as well. These two are going to go side by side in turn 3. Looks like Jonesy's not hanging around either. He's also wanting a piece of Ripdoc. He's getting gobbled up a little bit here. We're looking at Oil as well, showing a bit risky the nose through this right-hander onto the first straight. Oh, Dragon's wide in the background. He'd side-tap Stefko. So I'm jumping around a bit there, Herb. So Stefko and Dragon are in 11th at the moment. Dragon got a little bit wide and a little bit tail happy there, so that's going to hopefully not affect Stefko too much. But he has got a ripper start, moving up to 9th already. Squiddy and Showman looking like it's tough to make up positions early in the race.
Yeah, just up the front with Untouchables and G. We might see a little bit of maybe G might put the elbows a little bit, as in the first race Untouchables unfortunately took out G with a late braking manoeuvre which didn't quite come off for Untouchables. So things could get spicy up the front here.
Yeah, the G is definitely within that slipstream range, so he just needs to play it smart here, play it cool, get the job done later in the race, because as soon as you start battling, these guys remind me of Expat Champ, Ripdoc. These guys are certainly going to want a piece of that top end of town action. Jonesy's also not looking to hang around, he's still on the back of Ripdoc. But at this early stage of the race, there's so many slipstream battles here, it's super difficult to make up positions. Oil is sitting pretty in 8th there at the moment, trying to get a move done on Widrisky. But again, he's at the back, like midway through a slipstream battle. Everyone's in slip from what, 3rd all the way through to last place. So Showman in a real tough spot there in 13th.
Yeah, everyone just holding a straight line at the moment. No one really making a move, although Showman is now making a move on Dragon, although he's going to be on the outside for this corner. Although he will get the inside line on this next corner here. Dragon tries a crossover, and Dragon's got the run.
Very hot battle here for 13th. They're side by side coming into this right-handed hairpin. Dragon trying to take that slightly slower but safer inside line onto the approach there. Gives Showman plenty of room. These guys are certainly showing their class, being able to go side by side through this section of the course. looks like Showman has just been able to get that better exit, and he slots in just ahead of Dragon for 12th place.
Yeah, great clean driving by both drivers there. Going through side by side through multiple corners and not really touching is great work from both of them.
Fantastic display of skill there. Jumping up the field a little bit, up into 4th place, Jonesy has been able to overtake Ripdoc, who has unfortunately come under fire by Corbin there as well. Jonesy gets a little bit of a nudge in the braking zone, but nothing too bad. He does go one wheel off in the grass. These guys are very bunched up here. Corbin and Jonesy going side by side.
Yeah, this lap 2's really come alive. There's action all over the track now because you've got also Squiddy and Showman. Showman's been able to jump Squiddy now.
Jonesy and Corbin going side by side through a very difficult part of the course, and they're holding each other very, very tight, giving each other plenty of racing room. This is fantastic to see, and is exactly what we try for here at Wheel to Wheel, and what we pride ourselves on. These guys giving no inches. Jonesy getting a little bit squirrely there, but nails that exit, just misses that grass. Looks like Ripdoc is trying to get back ahead of Corbin here as well. Plenty of moves being made. Who's going to make a dive into turn 1? Is anyone going to break super late? Ooh! Something happened there. I'm not too sure what. I think Corbin landed himself in the grass. Ripdoc's been able to jump back into 4th place. Stefco being the big winner here, coming out in 5th.
Yeah, there was a few re-ends happening there with Dragon hitting the back of Squid, who got a little bit loose but has managed to regain his composure.
Yeah, absolutely. Showman being able to jump up a couple spots as well. He's now tailing Jonesy real quick. But Stefco again being that big winner. He's gone from 10th place all the way up to 5th. So opening 2 laps, he's made up 5 spots in what is a very difficult track and difficult car coming to overtake. So firmly in his eyes is going to be Ripdoc. I don't believe that's going to last too long of a battle. Ripdoc doesn't have slipstream in front of him. Stefco again showing why he's a top split driver. He's unfortunately landing himself down to split 2.
Yeah, he's definitely going to make a move here. He's well in the slip. He should pull out, although Ripdoc does go a little bit defensive. But DJ up the inside, textbook move.
Super tight and clean, fantastic braking manoeuvre. Ripdoc also providing plenty of racing room. Those two knowing exactly where their car is and how to place themselves. Fantastic display of skill once again. Stefco slotting out just in front. Something that Ripdoc should definitely do now is try and hang on to the back of Stefco. Use that slipstream to his advantage and just secure that 5th place. The guys out in front have still got plenty of battling to go. Anything can happen here. So Stefco now got his eyes firmly set on the next match champ up the field.
Yeah, at the back of the field we've had Daspatron. He was down in, I think it was 7th position, but now in 12th. He must have had an off or maybe a penalty somewhere, so he'll be upset with that. And he's been coming under fire by Dragon here, going into the first corner. Dragon brakes a little bit later, goes up the inside. Daspatron leaves in plenty of room.
Again, these guys showing a fantastic display of skill, giving each other plenty of room, but also saying, hey, I'm not going to make this easy for you. Just because you can brake a little bit later than me doesn't mean that your position or your overtake is done just yet. Showing that there is only a couple of tenths. Dragon taking a super wide exit on the run down into this first straight.
Oh, we've got CCH. Oil and Blood goes up the inside of CCH.
Oil's
although
wide
he gets
too.
wide.
No, Oil's wide. Corbin's burning a penalty. Squiddy.
He's also redressing because he just gave Oil a little bit of a tap then on exit, and that's what pushed Oil off onto the grass. It was the slightest of taps, but
it's all it takes. And just like that, we've got some absolute fire battles that have unfortunately ended in penalties, it's an off-track excursions. It's the last thing that we want to see here, but it is fantastic to see that people recognise the fault.
DJ going up the inside of Expat Champ for 3rd position. So that's one more down. He'll be looking to chase down G, who's got a 1.8 second lead now on DJ. And Untouchables, he's got a 1.5 second lead in 1st position on G-Man, who's in 2nd. So Touch has really been able to put his head down and put in some good laps and open the gap.
Yeah, absolutely. Good spot there with Stefko. He's been able to make that dive on X-Pac Champ way sooner than I was expecting. So, again, certainly showing his pace here. He's got 1.6 seconds now after G-Man in second place. He's already basically secured himself a podium. So Stefko is again wanting to make amends from race 1 being stuck in a slipstream battle. He has got nothing but him and the other driver to contend with him. As he goes perfect, 2:04.113 on lap 4. Very, very quick time. It's looking like everybody else is starting to even out down the back of the field. Fairly even gaps. There's still a bit of a slipstream train having from Squiddy as the leader in 8th, Midrisky in 9th, Daspatron in 10th. They're all just within slipstream. Oh, sorry, apologies, and Dragon. So those guys might bunch up in a couple of laps, and we'll return to these.
Yeah, we've got Showman in 6th position at the moment, a race 1 winner. He's going to look to make a move on Ripdoc here as he gets a great exit out of that corner. And he's going to go on the inside here.
Gets the job done. Showman showing his pace, getting it done into, again, a very difficult high-speed section of the course. So it takes 5th place there for Ripdoc. Jonesy's also getting in the mix here, going, hey guys, I'm right here, give me a taste. He's got
He's got
down the back.
Jonesy for 13R Autosports right behind these two now, with a good slipstream. Although you can't make the passes. Showman and Ripdoc go too wide, and Ripdoc takes Showman.
Wow, these guys going position for position within half a lap. Jonesy, unfortunately, being that last guy in the slipstream train. If they're too wide in front, there's very little that you can do here. Jonesy's looking to run out a little bit wide, wipes a bit of speed off. Looks like Showman's going to jump up the inside again of Ripdoc into this double high-speed right-hander. Ripdoc sees it coming, plays it smart, and looks to be able to do the crisscross coming into the final left-hander, and then potentially line himself up for an overtake into turn 1. Again, Jonesy being the unfortunate recipient of the tail end of this slipstream battle.
Yeah, Squiddy, who is behind this group, he was 1.5 seconds behind that group, and with their fighting, he's managed to take a second off that time. So now he'll be amongst this battle for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Yeah, these guys certainly bunching up towards the tail end of race 2. Showman looking like he's now just got enough of gap where he can just concentrate on what's in front of him. Ripdoc might come under fire here by Jonesy and Squid in these last couple of laps. And for good measure, Midrisky as well is also right on the tail of this group. So we've got 5 cars all battling it out for position on lap 6. Again, showing these drivers' skill and how good these Ferraris are as a one make.
There you go. We just jump up into 2nd position. DJ was behind G, but G's just moved over and let DJ go by. I think G knows that DJ is a quality driver and didn't want to battle. He knew if he started battling, he'd just pull in the guys behind him. So smart racing by G there.
G-Man produces some fantastic ethics here in the league, and he's an outstanding driver. He knows when to fight and when to just go, hey, I'm not going to bother. Like, I enjoy the racing. I'm just going to tuck it behind you and make it as best as I can. So it's really just released Stefko. He's got 1.8 second deficit now to Untouchables. He's going to be having his eyes firmly set on that first position, and he's not going to stop until he gets it.
Ooh, Jonesy and Ripdoc going side by side, and they touch. Jonesy just hits the wall, gets a little bit sideways. Oh, that allows Squiddy to go up the inside of Jonesy.
Nose to tail here for 6th, 7th and 8th. Jonesy getting a little bit of an overlap here to Squid as well. Has to slot back in. Bit risky. Pretty hungry at the back. Going, hey, make one mistake and I'll jump right in here. Squiddy and Jonesy going side by side again. Jonesy with a very good run onto the start-finish straight. Not got enough though. He's got to slot back in. Ripdoc going defensive. He knows that something's going to happen here.
Jonesy goes for the move on Squiddy. And
very good braking maneuver. Squiddy's going to go try that cut back into turn 2, saying not so easy. These guys again trying to go side by side. Lap 7, gloves are off. A really want these positions. Ripdoc also in the process of all of this, not being able to get away. Running very wide there on the exit on this first straight. This group of 4 is still very hotly contested.
Well, the gap down for to Untouchables now is 1.3 seconds for DJ. He's made up a little bit of the time, but with only about half a lap left, I don't know if he's going to make it up.
He's definitely closing in the tenths. I'm watching that delta drop, but if he was in slipstream here, he might be able to be in a position to make a move towards the end of the lap, but unfortunately he's just outside, so just not going to be able to make it happen. But again, fantastic drive from Stefko to be able to make it up into second place in 7 laps. Slightly further back with this battle pack as well in 6th, 7th and 8th. Unfortunately, it looks like Jonesy picked up a penalty somewhere. So that's dropped him right out of contention. Squiddy and Madrisky still going nose to tail for 7th position here. Barely a tenth between them. Unfortunately, Jonesy dropping right back with a penalty. Dragon as well, something must have happened to him being in 13th place and 3 seconds behind. But we'll jump back up front here. Stefko and Untouchables rounding this last left-hander. Untouchables just on that apex. Takes a nice exit there. Untouchables just closing in another small gap. Stefko and Untouchables showing off their weaving. Touchy with the win. Stefko close behind at 7/10. Fantastic drive at the back of the field. G-Man consolidates and only just gets 3rd place from Showman, making a fantastic effort at the last minutes or seconds of this race. Expat Champ Randy out 5th, Ripdoc in 6th, Vidrisky 7th, Squid in 8th, Dustpatron in 9th, Jonesy in 10th, CCH. In 2 laps, taking out 2nd place, and then of course G-Man in 3rd place there, almost giving up his position on the last lap to Showman, who started dead last. So fantastic effort there from all drivers.
Yeah, those top 3 drivers from race 1, DJ and Showman, really got through the field. Squiddy, unfortunately, wasn't able to make as many positions as the others, but he still did well to come in 8th place.
Absolutely did. He did get held up with quite some quality drivers there, being a slipstream battle. It's extremely difficult to be able to make moves there. I think Stefko got the best run of the first couple of laps where everyone's jostling for position, and then it was just easy picking. Well, I shouldn't say easy pickings, but picking one driver off at a time as he moved his way through the field. So again, showing why he's a top split driver and being able to show his worth. Alright, we'll get kicked off with race 3 in just a minute. I'm going to double check and make sure my settings are correct for this one.
While you do that, Captain, we'll just go to another commercial break for future studios when you're ready, Herbs.
Yep.
Again, thank you to all of our sponsors there. You saw just a quick reel from Future Youth, Future Studios, a streetwear brand based out of Melbourne, providing some fantastic clothes for those people who purchase them. Race 3, we will be getting underway right this minute again with the reverse grid. This one's a little bit different here because it's 15 laps. It's going to be just over double race 1 and race 2 distance, with a mandatory pit stop, so every driver is required to run the soft tyres and the medium tyres. So being able to push them through the pit is certainly going to open up some strategy. Personally, I've not been able to be privy to any of the strategy, so I'm going to throw over to Adam and give us the hot take on the best strat to run here.
Yeah, so we've got 15 laps. The guys starting out in front probably start on soft tyres and try and build the gap on the medium runners. So if you're starting at the front and you're on softs, you're looking to do about 9 or 10 laps. Really push and make a big gap to the guys behind you. The guys starting on mediums, they'll probably do 5 or 6 laps on mediums, then come in for their softs.
Yeah, there you go. So a couple of different strategies here. I ended up splitting it probably a little bit too far down the middle. I did 7 laps on the mediums and 8 laps on the softs. So proving why practice throughout the week is king. If you can nail your strategy and figure out what's quickest for yourself, you'll definitely be quick come race day. Jumping people into pits is also very handy, especially in the one makes. They can provide a very solid way of overtaking 2 or 3 people without actually losing the time or battling for that position on track. So again, the undercut can work here.
And the undercut is quite strong here, so look for a few people to come in earlier than maybe we expect to try the undercut. But if you do that, you really got to be careful, and because his tyres will start to drop off in that second stint towards the end.
Yeah, they definitely will. So hopefully, with the likes of Stefko and Showman starting towards the back of the grid, they are able to see that coming. They can try and get that jump, try and get that undercut. Squiddy starting in a fantastic spot. He's going to be, what is he, 5th or 6th there. So hopefully, he doesn't get caught up in too much drama and can potentially run that undercut again and run out a decent gap that he can manage from the field. So these guys have had just enough time to warm up on their mediums or their softs, depending on what they want to start on. So let's get things off. Alright, again, driver of the race, who have you got your eye on, Adam?
It's a tough one because there's a few drivers that could take that out. I mean, you can see that obviously the class of DJ and Showman coming through the field in race 2, so I definitely keep an eye on them. But starting up the front, I mean, Oil is really good on his tyres and fuel, starting in 2nd position, so I think my money's on Oil tonight.
For anything.
Yeah.
Or for nothing rather. So interestingly enough, Dragon is pointing his wheel hard right. There we go. He's straightened his wheel up, or I'm not sure if he's on wheel or controller, but he's straightened himself up. Again, I think starting with the top of the grid.
Away we go. Oh, Oil gets a terrible start off the line. Gets pushed by Jonesy. You got CCH going up the inside of Oil into the first corner, and Dust Patron as well.
These guys are all jostling for position fairly early on here, trying to get the best possible start that they can. Dragon has overtaken Corbin for the first couple of corners for first place. Oh, Dragon has unfortunately just picked up a penalty there. He may not burn that if it was close contact, pushing him wide. Nope, he's jumping off, doing the right thing. That hurts when Dragon had such a great start. Hopefully he doesn't lose too many positions here. It looks like he's being able to hold on to 3rd. And that's actually not too bad to be able to burn a penalty and only lose what is effectively 1 to 2 positions. Very, very good there.
Yeah, still early in the race, so plenty of time to make up that time lost there.
Absolutely. Jonesy looking very hungry on the back of Dragon. Squid being able to make up a position there as well, jumped up to 5th. He's hot on the tail there. Looks like everyone bar Corbin at the front of the grid. Front of the field rather, is on mediums. So yeah, everyone but Corbin starting on the mediums. So Corbin looking to run those 9 or 10 laps potentially on the softs, jump out in front. He's already broken the slipstream to Oil, so that's not too much of an issue there. Let's see if the alternate strategy is going to pay off. So towards the end of the race, I've got to remember that the Corbin is on mediums while the rest of the field is on softs. So we'll see where everything lines up. Again, with the slipstream trains here, so Dragon leading one in 3rd. Dragon leading one in 3rd. Oil's almost breaking that. And again, Jonesy, Squiddy, Daspatron, Showman, a bit risky, X-Factor, like the rest of the field, they're all within this slipstream train this early on.
Yeah, and just going through the field, you can see all the drivers short shifting, trying to save as much fuel as possible. And you've got Jonesy looking up the inside of Squiddy down in fourth. Oh, sorry, Dragon down in fourth, and Squiddy's looking to capitalise on these guys fighting as he's behind them.
So up in fourth, yeah, Jonesy's making a move for third, who is just not going to get it done into this right-hander. Those two going side by side. Jonesy's going to be a little bit slower speed on the exit here. Squiddy might be the opportunist.
Squiddy gets a good run out of there as Jonesy runs a little bit wide, so he'll take the position and looking up the inside of Dragon as well now. Makes it a little bit later than Dragon, so they go side by side through the corner here.
That is incredibly tight. Now Daspatron's showing his nose in there with Jonesy saying, great boys, thanks for fighting. I'm going to bring myself right into this mix. So we've got 2 wide, 2 deep, followed closely by another 2 people in slipstream as well. Squiddy just being able to make that jump work, taking out the lead of this pack, so he's going to be in a very vulnerable spot coming on this back straight. Bumper to bumper, there is not a gap between Squiddy, Dragon, Jonesy, Daspatron, Showman and Midrisky. These guys are incredibly close down this back straight. Showman looking to make a move for 6.
Oh, he taps Jonesy.
These guys are incredibly close and they're being able to pull this off to a T. Showman going side by side now with Jonesy. Is actually getting the job done through these sweepers in the back section of this course. Tron slotting just in behind Jonesy. Squiddy still being able to hold out on this lead pack in third place there.
Oh, that's Patron.
Showman.
Yeah, putting his elbows out there.
Unfortunately, coming off second best on the exit of this left-hander. That's a very hard place to be able to hold pace.
Ooh, he's going to catch the grass, maybe run wide here. Manages to stay, but he's lost a whole heap of positions there. Maybe pushing just a little bit too hard.
Well, to be able to hold that online and not go spearing off in the fence. So he's just got a little bit of dirty tyres now. G-Man's going to be fighting for position. Das is going to give plenty of room here. G-Man's going to just slot in behind. But this slipstream train again is showing its worth. Stefko only jumping up into 11th place, so a bit of a contrast there from race 2 for him.
Yeah, so just up the front with Corbin, he's on the soft tyre, although he hasn't managed to pull out a big gap in these first 3 laps to oil. His oil's 1.5 seconds off, so oil really showing good pace on these mediums here.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Oil taking care of his tyres here. He's got just a touch more fuel here than Corbin. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Oil go longer on the mediums and then come in and go for a real hard out stint on the softs and try and close up any gap that he's got. But yeah, it's a very good point. The gap between Corbin and Oil is only just out to about 2 seconds now over 3 laps. The difference between softs and mediums, personally would have expected it to be just that little bit larger than what it is. In third place now, Squiddy being able to basically secure that spot. Things are starting to even out just that little bit more. A few tenths between them instead of being bumper to bumper. Dragon hanging on for dear life. Showman also being able to jump ahead of Jonesy and Risky. Showman definitely not looking to hang around. He's just in the split there of Dragon, so anything now can happen. Squid's still in a very vulnerable spot in third place, not having the slipstream of Oil in front of him. Having a look through fuel usage though, surprisingly Squid has just more than Dragon, about the same as Showman too, so looking at these top split drivers, they're very close to the mark for fuel. I wonder if these guys are going all out saying, oh, I'm going to do my fighting on track, or if some are going to now go into fuel saving mode, given the first couple of laps of how they.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if I was Squid, I'd rather be behind Dragon and conserving fuel, but he seems to be conserving fuel and keeping the gap to Dragon, so he's doing really well here.
Absolutely is. again, this slipstream train following Squid and Dragon is still very hot. It's anyone's game. Like, yes, there's a few seconds between them now, but that can be pulled back within a pit stop. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, down in 10th position, we've got X-Pac Champ. He had a bad run coming out of those last few corners, and G's got past, and now DJ, who got through the field quite easily in race 2, is now behind X-Pac down in 11th. So he'll be looking to try and make some places up and catch the guys, or the split one guys, if you want to call them that. Because yeah, he'll be looking to get as close as possible, jump in the pits, and then fight them in the last stint.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Stefko is playing that long game. He does have a noticeable amount more fuel than the drivers around him. He may just be going, cool, you guys are actually going to pull me along here and give me a little bit more pace than what I would have, save that little bit of fuel. He's definitely got company though. I mean, these guys are 4 or 5 deep, and then nose to tail once more, so Untouchable's probably not looking to hang around either. Being the winner of race 2, these guys are extremely close to each other. And again, just showing what that slipstream train is able to produce. Being on the tail end makes it very difficult to complete an overtake. Jumping back up to the field, Oil has actually been able to bring in the gap to Corbin, just a small amount. It's down to about 1.7 seconds now, and almost closing. So Oil certainly showing his worth on the mediums, looking like he's saving just a touch more fuel as well. And yeah, I'm curious to see when Oil's going to duck in, because he's pulling off these lap times. On mediums, he might be in a very good position.
Yeah, it'll be interesting who comes in at the end of this lap. So he'll be doing the 10 laps on soft tyres. See if anyone tries for an undercut.
Yeah, right, we should start seeing some pit stops anywhere from now through to about lap 7, I would think, and start to run off to the front of the grid. So Corbin is probably going to be... Well, he is on controller, so his tyre wear is going to be higher than...
Down in 9th, you've got G making a move on Das Patron. Just going past before the braking zone. Quite an easy move there for G. Although if you look at the fuel difference between G and Das, Das has got quite a bit more fuel, so you can tell he's been saving. Or G maybe just pushing a bit harder.
Das has certainly been able to, or Patron has certainly been able to show his endurance racing skill here in wheel to wheel. Very good with his tyres and very good with his fuel saving as well. So it's a very good point he just made there. His fuel is noticeably better than Stepco's, X-Bats and G-Man. So
Oh, we got Squiddy coming into the pits.
So there we go. So we're going to start seeing some
And Showman.
very equal fuel too. Yeah, there's a whole bunch. Squiddy, Stepco, Showman, Touchy, all jumping into the pits on lap 5. These guys are looking to do 10 laps on the soft here. Maybe hoping to get some free space with Squiddy, and now he's going to be joined by Stefco and Showman. There should be just enough of a gap here that Squiddy is going to get a free couple of laps to himself before we start seeing the runners that are now ahead of him coming into the pits.
Yeah, so we'll just take note that Squiddy was 2.5 seconds behind Oil. Once Oil pits, we'll see what the gap is and see if that undercut has worked.
See what that gap ends up jumping up to.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to be too many battles going on the track here, so time lost with the undercut may not be as effective trying to get that free space. Squiddy's certainly achieved that. He's on track by himself now. 15 seconds up to Midrisky and 2.5 back to Showman. So Squiddy's sitting pretty intent, wanting to just punch out some clean laps, try and make this undercut work and keep it mistake free as best as he can.
Yeah, DJ a big winner of that stop because Showman was quite a few places in front of him, but he's come out right behind Showman now. Showman did fill up all the way with his fuel load, so he'll be able to push as hard as he can for the rest of the race. but that time sitting in the pits to get that fuel has put him under pressure by DJ.
It certainly has. It's a very good point that Showman has gone about 20% more fuel than what Stefko and Squiddy have. So Squiddy might actually come under fire here. About 2.4 second gap between Squiddy and Showman. Stefko's probably not in a bad spot in all reality, being that slightly lower amount on fuel, but with Showman in front of him with plenty of fuel, he's going to be looking to be towed around the track even more than what he was in the opening first 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's true. DJ's, although DJ won't know he's got, Showman has more fuel than him.
No,
so,
probably not. It'll be very interesting to see this dynamic if those two can figure themselves out. Stefko with a very small slide there, just dropping off the back of Showman. He's going to want to, I would potentially use a little bit more fuel just to bring that gap right back in. I think he is there. Pulled that gap back to about 5/10. For those of you who play at home, slipstream distance is 0.75 of a second, so as soon as you drop behind that, you lose any advantage from the current front.
And just up in first, Corbin's having a tough time on those softs because the gap to Oil has come right down now to 6/10.
Corbin, yeah, absolutely is having a tough time on those softs there. If they are showing their wear. One unfortunate side effect of being on controller, so Corbin being on controller and Oil being on his wheel and pedals. Oil again showing why he's a tyre master. Hasn't earned that name for no reason, and certainly again showing his worth now, punching out some fantastic lap times on mediums while still saving plenty of fuel. I do note that he has got just more than Corbin and the other drivers around him. So again, Oil showing he is known as a time master. He's actually nose to tail now with Corbin. I think he's going to try and make a move here. Or if Corbin's going to duck in after doing 7 laps on softs.
Yeah, so Squiddy is 23 seconds away from the lead. And I believe it's about 25 seconds in the pit, so...
Squiddy might be in with a very good position here. I think I saw a quick indicator from Corbin.
Yeah,
saying,
Corbin's going in. Yep. And so is Oil, so
it looks like Oil. Oh, okay, interesting there from Oil. I would have expected him to go longer on the mediums. Although if he was pulling that pace off, he's saved plenty of fuel and gone, sweet, I'm going to jump out on softs now. We see a smattering of other pit stops.
Yeah, so I'm just on board with... Sorry, he's just on board with Squiddy, just coming around the last corner now. So we see, interesting to see where Oil comes out.
Yeah, Oil's still getting his fuel put in.
Yeah, they've jumped him in the pits.
Squiddy's gotten a fantastic jump there. Oil coming out in about that 8th position, so has lost out a few spots to the drivers who have already pitted, being Stefko, Showman and Squid. So Squid, being the big winner out of all of this, jumped up into 3rd place, which is effectively going to be the race lead. He's only 14 seconds behind the Expert Champ and 15.8 seconds behind the current leader. So as soon as those two pit, then Squiddy is going to inherit the race lead. So Squiddy's just got to keep himself nice and calm, not get flustered by the drivers around him.
Well, he's coming under fire by G now. Although G does... I don't think he has enough fuel to get to the end. And he has pitted.
Has G-Man come in?
Yeah, he's got fresh soft tyres, so...
Oh yes, this is G-Man's outlap. I wonder if he's misclicked here. He's definitely not got enough fuel to run through to the end. Oh, that might be a big error there from G-Man. I wonder if he's just going to try and save fuel and lip it to the end. Oof, that's a lot of laps on a third of a tank of fuel.
Yeah, no, he's going to have to come in for a top-up of fuel, which is unfortunate for G.
He would have been in a great position too, probably just behind Stefko if he did put some fuel in. Or potentially just behind Oil there as well, but still in a fantastic spot to be able to make some moves and pull it back up. So yeah, effective race lead for Squiddy. 2nd place for G currently, Showman.
And all of these boys bunching out now, from Squiddy to Showman, DJ and Oil. They're getting quite close together, so it's going to be an interesting last, 7 laps here? Or
It
6
will be.
laps
Oil's-
after this one?
Oil will have fresher tyres here as well. Sorry, we see Dust Patrol and Expert Champ as well jump into the pits, so those guys handing over that lead to Squiddy. And we see, Oil, he's going to be on some much fresher tyres than Squiddy, Showman and Stefko. So Oil might be looking to make some moves towards the tail end of this race. Only 6 laps to go. Sorry, 7 laps to go.
Showman sitting in a very nice spot here because it's got the most fuel to burn out of all of them. Squiddy would be managing his fuel, being out in front.
I'm curious to see what G-Man's game plan is here. He's definitely not fighting Squid for position. Maybe he's realised the mistake and goes, I'll just try and hold these guys up as best as I can, but it doesn't seem to be doing that either. So, keen to see what comes to G. Squiddy again being in that lead pack, that pole position, being at the front of the grid. That first five drivers, all really close to each other. Oil with the freshest tyres, but in that 5th position.
And Showman going up the inside of G now on that right-hand sweeping corner. Does it perfectly.
Executes a fairly nice and clean move there. Showman jumping up into 2nd place. Got plenty of fuel to burn. Showing that his pace is just able to be all out right. He hasn't got to worry about fuel saving. He can just go as hard as he wants until the end. Still coming out in a very good position there in 2nd place. Gets off the set and done. Or 3rd and now up in the 2nd.
If I was Squiddy here, I would let Showman go past and just stick with him. Save as much fuel as you can, so you've got some fighting fuel left for the last few laps.
Yep.
And then for me, I don't know about you, Captain, but when you're out front, I feel the tyres. If you're in the slip, I feel the tyres. You save the tyres a little bit more. So personally, I would let Showman go past, stay in his slip, save tyres, save fuel, and then fight him towards the end.
Yeah, so the beauty of slip is that you can take the corners slightly easier and then use that straight line advantage. Being in slipstream, will be able to pull that gap back in and manage and just stick with the car in front. So yeah, absolutely right. You can take it easier through corners. You can brake earlier, you can get on the power that just a little bit later and still be able to stick with the car in front. So it doesn't seem that Showman's trying to make that move just yet. Maybe playing some mind games, still plenty of time left here in the race.
Yeah, about 5.5 laps to go. So there's still quite a bit of time here, anything can happen.
So it's just doing a quick run through the rest of the field. We can see Super Dragon and Corbin down in 7th position, or 7th and 8th position, going nose to tail here. Corbin is on the mediums, Dragon on the softs. Relatively similar amount of fuel as well, so straight line advantage isn't going to be huge. Dragon's going to pull out.
Ooh, Showman go for the movement first. Showman's got the move done on Squiddy.
There we go, we see a change of position in 1st and 2nd, and Dragon also gets that job done on the 8th. But yeah, Showman up in 1st, been able to take that lead of Squid. G-Force is showing nose there for Squid as well. Very interesting to see there. He's still going hard at it, knowing that he's got that pit stop.
Jones is now on the back of this pack for from 1st to 5th. Oilu, I should say. Jonesy not too far behind them, only 1.7 seconds away.
Jonesy being able to manage that gap so far, about 1.6 seconds. He's not got as much fuel as Oil at the moment, so he's going to look to manage that. These top 4 or top 5 basically top split runners. Showman not being able to break away from Squid there. That gap sticking at about 3/10. Through the back end of the course where I think the tyres... What lap did those guys come in on? No, their tyres are exactly the same amount of time old. just with that extra advantage that Showman is able to rev his car out through some tighter technical segment of this course. You've really got to be careful to not lose that slipstream. Having said that, Squiddy's almost challenging for first place again here. They're side by side into these sweeping S's. Just concede Squiddy almost coming under fire from there from G-Force. Showman probably just with that little extra revs, that little extra power, just being able to edge out in front right when it's crucial.
Yeah, G's going to have to come in this lap because his fuel gauge is flashing, so that will leave Showman, Squiddy, DJ and Oil to fight it out for first position here.
Super unfortunate there for G. He's shown that he's been able to stick with the big boys and battle with the best of them. But yeah, unfortunately for G, that is going to be the top end of town running done. He's going to have to come in and opens up Stefko for that podium again.
Yeah, Jonesy in 6 has really closed the gap now. He's only 7 tenths away from his teammate Oil, so he's going to make this a 5-way fight for first.
Yeah, with only 4 laps to go, Jonesy is now out to about 1.5 seconds. Oil, Stefko, G-Force and Squid all being able to stick within each other. Showman jumping out to the front though has been able to break that slipstream. G-Man, surprisingly, has stayed out. He has not come into the pits. I wonder, is he aware that he's about to run out of fuel?
Yeah, that's what I'm just thinking.
Really hope he doesn't run out and he's been able to plan this, or plan as much as he can, and come into the pits at the end of this lap. Really hope he can make it around and minimise his losses there. But yeah, Squiddy almost jumping back into that slipstream. Yeah. But unfortunately, yeah, Showman's just been able to break it, and with that extra fuel as well, he's going to be able to keep that up.
Yeah, I think Showman with the extra fuel and being able to push to redline the car, he's in a very good position. I think it's on Squiddy now. He'll be feeling the pressure because he'll know that with G and DJ and Oil behind him, he'll need to defend.
Oh, there we go. G-Man's pulled off to the right-hand side. He's run out of fuel.
Out.
Oh no, G. He's run completely out of fuel on lap 12. He's got his hazards on. He knows that he can't do anything about it. That is super unfortunate there. He's ghosted. I think he went into his start-finish, into his menu screen. He's just going to have to coast back to the pits now. That is massively unfortunate for G-Man. He's crawling along.
Yeah, so that releases DJ now to start attacking Squiddy. He's right on the back of Squid now.
He is, although funnily enough, Showman must have made a small mistake there as Squid is now just within that slipstream of the driver in front. Oh, I take that back. That's just
DJ
out.
cuts the corner quite a lot there.
Oh, Jonesy in the background's got a half-second penalty as well. That's going to hurt his efforts to jump off the back of this train.
DJ's looking to the inside of Squiddy, goes a bit deep.
Oh, he goes very deep. Squiddy with a fantastic foresight to get the crisscross done.
Allows Oil to get the run on DJ, and he's lost that position to Oil by making that small mistake on the brakes there to turn 1.
And it is such a fine line too between braking exactly where you need to get that move done and then just that bit too late. So Squiddy and Oil being the winners from there, but the job is not done yet. Oh, not sure what Oil's trying to do there. Jump down the inside of Squid. Those two looking to play some smart moves here.
Oil's on fresher softs and he knows that, so he'll want to get past and try and chase down Showman.
Yeah, absolutely. Oil's got the fuel to be able to chase down Showman as well. There's basically nothing between them. Oil, much fresher tyres here. 2.5 laps to go. Anything can happen.
Yeah, as the time comes down to under a second now.
Squiddy hanging on as well, almost breaking that slipstream back to Stefko. Stefko's tyre is actually looking in pretty good condition, but I don't think he's got the fuel to be able to fight back if he's not in that slipstream. Stefko's crucial there to stay to hang into fourth and not come under fire from anybody back behind. We see GE Man just coming out of the pits now as well. Super unfortunate there for him, but he's topped up just enough to get him home. Jump back up into first place if we haven't left it. Oil is now within the slipstream range there of Showman. Tyres are much fresher there, being several laps newer. Showman's got the same amount of fuel as Oil. Squiddy's just shy of those three, and Stefko unfortunately also lacking just that little bit of fuel to try and fight back. So he's probably going to consolidate and try and come home fourth. Squiddy being able to hang on to the back of Oil, and Oil right on the back of Showman now.
Yeah, if Oil and Showman start fighting a little bit, that'll bring Squiddy and probably DJ right back into this mix.
Yeah, Oil should be able to play it smart. I would like to think Showman would be able to as well, but I mean, it's the last two laps here. Anything can happen. And I'm really curious to see when Oil might try and get a move done. He's got the grip in the tyres being that much fresher. He's right on the tail of Showman through these S's. He's not giving him any room to spare. Filling that rearview mirror of Showman. I reckon there's got to be a move either here or on lap 15.
Yeah, I think for Oil, if he's going to do it, he's got to do it now.
I really do. I think he's got the tyres to be able to defend if he needs to. Just closing that gap.
Showman going to defend.
Showman doesn't defend.
No.
Oil moves. He's got the tyres to be able to get it done. Fantastic overlap before turn in. Nice tight line. Oil gets the job done. Super smooth. Showman giving him plenty of space too, understanding that he's got another lap to be able to try and fight back here. So Oil out in first place. He's got the tyres to be able to hold it. What Oil needs to do now is give it
Showman
plenty
showing
of
the
space
nose.
here. Shows the nose, tucks back in behind. Oil's got the tyres to be able to get the jump on Oil of Showman through here. Hopefully he can use that to his advantage. Yeah, opening out to about half a second gap now. Hopefully that's going to be enough for Oil to be able to break out and keep in that win.
For third and fourth, DJ's right in the slip now of Squiddy. Both cars with their fuel gauges flashing.
Yeah, we've seen plenty of flashing fuel gauges now from a whole bunch of drivers throughout the field. Final lap, Stefko, Squiddy, Showman, Oil. These guys are going hard at it. This gap is incredibly close here. Oil needs to keep it nice and tidy. As he does so, running on this start-finish straight. Showman with a very good exit though. He's definitely not out of this fight yet. This next couple of sectors, next couple of corners rather, are quite heavy on your tyres. So I think Oil's going to have the edge here. But again,
Showman closes the gap nicely though.
Tail. These two showing off exactly why.
Oh, Oil a little bit wide there.
He's giving a bit of a run here to Showman. Oil's going to have to go defensive in this back straight here to be able to prevent any moves from happening.
Showman's just a little bit too close, so he can't get the overspeed.
Oil knows
But Showman does,
Showman.
yeah, goes the inside, Showman.
Oh, there's enough of an overlap here. Who's going to break later? Showman with the inside line here. Oil taking it nice and high, showing that plenty of respect. Unfortunately for Oil, unfortunately for my teammate, has gotten the crisscross on the laps on the same corner.
And just for third and fourth, you've got DJ going up the inside of Squiddy. Get a little bit of bad exit going out of the corner, so DJ's taken third, stolen the podium off Squiddy. He boys up front. Oh, Showman's running a little bit wide as Oil goes up the inside.
Oil's being able to get the job done in this last double right-hander. Not sure I missed what happened there, but either way, Oil's just been able to jump in front. Or rounding this last.
Oh, he runs a little bit wide.
Oil's
He's on the grass.
Keep it clean. Come on, Oil, bring it home. It's
Showman's got the run.
Stand finish. Who's going to get it? Showman's got it. Oh, he's just taken out the win on Oil. Stefko rounding out third, Squiddy fourth, Dragons fifth, Jones is sixth. Wow, what an
photo
ending!
finish there.
Super unfortunate for Oil. It looked like he had that wrapped up and it was all in the grass. You could not have asked for a closer finish between these guys. Fantastic effort there from Showman, taking that first place. Oil in second. Jumping further down the grid as well, we have Jaspertron rounding out 7th, Expat Champ 8th, Corbin 9th, Midrisky 10th, Ripdoc 11th. Something's happened to Untouchables as well. He's just crossing the line now, quickly burning a penalty, and G-Force with that unfortunate fuel error. Coming around this final complex now, or entering the final complex now, unfortunately well behind the pack with that second pit stop.
Great race 3 from the boys here. Action packed.
Yeah, fantastic show of driver skill, fantastic show of ethics here at Four Wheel. Showcase round if you ask me. G-Force now rounding the final corner, finishing out the race in style, taking plenty of dirt there. Unfortunate for G, has the pace, just had that double click error. It happens to the best of us. Rounding out the field there. So Showman first, Oil second, and Steph going third, rounding out our podiums.
Yeah, congratulations, Showman. Excellent race, mate.
Fantastic effort. We're going to wrap things up again. Huge thanks to our sponsors of the league. You would have seen plenty of their adverts here this evening. Again, reminder that this is one of 4 races that we either stream or are saving to then stream later on in the week. Keep that notification bell on. You'll keep up to date. We'll all be able to rewatch them and get in that comment section at the same time. So cheers for watching, and thanks for joining me in the comms box, Adam. Cheers again for doing visuals there, Herbs.
Pleasure.
Yeah, no worries. And make sure you tune in next Sunday for our season finale, which is going to be an endurance race at Bathurst. We've got 43 laps. We've got close battles in 3 of our divisions, so you'll want to keep an eye on that. And join in for some action-packed racing next week.
Absolutely going to come down to the wire. Cheers again, boys, and good night all.